Hey, y'all. What's up? It's your favorite girl in the world, and I'm back. I almost said a cuss word, but I'm doing better. I have grown in this world, so I ain't gonna cuss, but I just want to say, y'all, I'm back, snitches. I am back, y'all. Your favorite girl in the world is back for Woo Child Wednesdays. Yes, y'all. You know what it is on Woo Child Wednesdays. We talk about all things gossip. But it's gossip for the greater good. Yeah, so we're going to talk about those things that are hot, those gossip topics, but we're going to put a positive spin on it because, that's just your girl D Ford. I always got to find a positive spin on whatever is going on. So as I am back, snitches, I had to, of course, come back here and I had to bring some friends with me, y'all, because it's all about good connections. It's all about good vibes. So I was like, who better to bring on the first show with me than my homegirl, the people that I have been vibing so hard with lately, the amazing Miss Nina Marie and my girl, Miss Brandy. How y'all doing today?
Wonderful. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. So, y'all, before we go into our show, I'm going to let my girls introduce themselves. We have some amazing topics, so you make sure you want to stick around and stay. Before they introduce themselves, I'm just going to tell y'all a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. Because your girl is feeling a certain kind of way. I'm feeling a certain kind of way because people are out here shooting up watch parties. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we have 300 some thousand people in Shreveport and 51,000 people went out and voted. We're going to talk about my feelings on the 2022 Shreveport mayor election. I'm even going to talk about some stuff in Georgia and stuff like that because I don't understand how Herschel Walker is in a runoff. But that's a whole nother situation. The man can't verbalize his name. But we're also going to talk about some other interesting things that came across my timeline. We're going to talk about age in dating. We're going to talk about what's too old, what's too young. Now, what brought that conversation on is the whole Young Miami and Diddy situation. Young Miami is like 28, Diddy is like 50 something. So people are like saying that Diddy is creepy because he's dealing with someone who's like half his age. I have my feelings on that, but we're going to talk about that too. And we're also going to talk about the Kanye, Kyrie versus the Jews situation. I have my feelings and my thoughts on that. People were talking about how Kanye was crazy when he was saying what he was saying. Then the very next week, Kyrie didn't say anything, but he posted a movie. And now he's being reprimanded from that. So I definitely have some ideas because all those subjects definitely made me say, woo, child, what is this world coming to? What is this world coming to? So emotions are on a high across the country because of everything. We're going to talk about all those things that make you say, woo, child. But we're going to introduce my girls first. So we're going to start. Who want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because that'll be precious to introduce who she is. So, y'all, my name is Nina Marie. I am super excited to be here with your girl, your favorite girl in the world, D4 from D4 Entertainment, the social go out here. It's been such a joy. I've been in relationship with Dorian at a distance for quite some time on different projects because, birds of a feather flock together. Mm-hmm. And so we had done some things together, but it wasn't until our trip this summer to Florida that we got a chance to do with another organization that just kind of sealed the deal. And so we've been rocking and rolling since. And I have been in the Shreveport area rocking and rolling since '09 from Michigan. I always say that Louisiana can't get all this credit. So from Michigan and have been down here since '09. Loving it. I do everything unity in the community. I am a life strategist, business coach, and I also work with youth and young adults. So as long as it's unity, you can sit at the table. And if it's not, you can still sit at the table, just not mine, okay? And I want to introduce you to my best friend that has been my best friend since the age of 12, and she was 15. That was just a few years ago, if I may say myself. And so we've been rocking and rolling for many years, and so she is definitely here. We are so fortunate to have her here with us in the dirty South here, you know, in the dirty down here in what they call Shreveport, Louisiana. So super excited to be here and honored to be tagging along on this. Woo, child. All of that just made my head hurt in itself just listening to. So excited about the conversations tonight, and thank you for having me. Passing the baton to my girl, Miss Brandy. Take it away, sis.
Yes, this is Brandy Clements here visiting from Flint, Michigan. It's just been an honor and a privilege to get to know Dorian. And, absolutely thank you for having me on the show. And I am a community builder into health and fitness and holistic care. And definitely an entertainer as well. So anything that I can express my own creative freedom, that's where you'll find me. And, just a pleasure to be here.
All right, y'all. So which conversation y'all want to go with first? Y'all are the guests. Are we going to go with local elections?
Yes, let's start there. Let's just get that out the way because can I play something that somebody sent me this morning about the elections?
Yes.
On the state side?
Yes.
Oh, girl, I don't know if you saw this, but when you think about election, I was amazed. And this is what somebody sent me from Atlanta.
Oh, Lord.
It was at like 5-something our time. So that's how but this was like somebody, and we won't play all of it, but you tell me when to stop. And I just thought, wow, welcome to Louisiana, right? And so this is an unbelievable TikTok that just cut into Louisiana as a whole. Okay, like just Louisiana as a whole, like not just...
Players, this right here is the most disgusting thing that I have ever seen. That the black voters in Louisiana allowed Gary Chambers to go out like this. 16.2% of the vote, 166,000 votes. You allowed
16%.
Gary
Just saying,
Chambers.
we could just cut it there. 16%.
16%.
Statewide.
But let me tell you what's so absolutely asinine about this whole situation. The whole Gary Chambers and John Kennedy situation. This man, John Kennedy, is who I'm talking about. He did a commercial. He did a PSA that said, hey, you people. First of all, I got an issue with you people. Right? Got a problem with that. He progressed to say, for y'all who don't like the police, if you got a problem or you need help, call a crackhead. Wow. How is it that you will allow someone to represent you who will say something as ignorant? And now the thing about that is it's not a racial slur. Because it's a lot of white crackheads too.
That part.
So we ain't gonna make it a racial slur. But it's extremely ignorant and inconsiderate, and I don't want anyone who would go publicly and say something like that to leave me in the city, in the state, in a goddamn classroom.
To say, go get you a crackhead.
To go get a crackhead. How is that even a problem? But I'm not surprised that Gary went out like that on a state level, because let's look at how Mayor Perkins went out here in the local area. And I'm glad you said let's go ahead and get this out of the way, right? So, I'm a server of the people. So no matter who's in office, I'm going to serve my city because that's where my heart is, right? No matter if I lived in Africa, I'm always going to be an advocate for Shreveport and serve Shreveport because that's the city that bred me. However, semicolon. The people who are in the runoff for the Shreveport mayoral race 2022 have had collective 40 years in political office. Between the two of them, they've had about 40 years of political office.
Not 40.
Yes. Tarver has been in office for, 30 years. and Arsenault, he was a city councilman before, and he's an attorney.
Now,
he did about 10 years in office.
So they are both in the runoff?
They are both in the runoff.
Oh, tell me
and
something.
they are the two that are in the runoff. Mario Chavez, shouts out to Mario. He had a great race. Mario was my second choice. If Mayor Perkins, didn't get it, Mario was my second choice. He played a good race. I like Mario. But my thing, kind of one of the same big reservation that I have with Tarver and with Arsenault, for them to have been in politics and have such large political positions for such a long time. Woo, child. What can we say that you guys have done? What notable, sizable, big thing that one can say, oh wow, well, while this person was in office, they made this happen.
And then you can't even go to a watch party and be safe.
Listen,
I'm just saying, I'm so glad. I mean, God is so faithful.
God is extremely faithful, because let me tell you about that. And that just, but check me out on that. Woo, child.
That part.
Right?
That
because that was a whole nother situation.
I bet it
So
was.
I'm annoyed by the mayoral election. I think that we took 70 steps forward. We went from a 32-year-old mayor, a progressive mayor, a person who's the cream of the crop, not just in Shreveport, but wherever he goes. He is the cream of the crop with national connections. We went from him to people who've already been in office and did nothing. He's done more in 4 years than they've done in the 40 years that they've been combined. So I just want you guys to know what we have to look up to. That doesn't mean stop serving. I'm talking to y'all like I'm talking to me, because I was like, oh, I ain't going to vote.
I'm working on dual citizenship.
But don't do that, because we still have to serve our people, right? But let's talk about the other Wu Chai aspect of yesterday with a whole shootout at the doggone watch party.
Can't even be safe at
Now, before we go into who I feel like did the shooting,
wait, but you gonna say who you think you did?
Yes, I'm gonna say who I think.
Jesus.
I'm gonna say who I ain't gonna say no name.
Okay,
but I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give an idea.
Because I was gonna be like, woo, child.
I ain't gonna woo child them like that. I ain't gonna woo child like that. I'm not gonna give a specific name, but I am gonna give an idea of what I think is going on, right? Okay. But before I do that, I have to take my hats off. I have to say kudos to a couple people who were, several people who were there yesterday. Number one, Dr. Alan Jackson. It was his watch party. And for something like that to happen on your watch, or something that's for you, I would have been like, oh God. Like, I would have been frantic. Like, I would have had to take a step back, take a moment. He handled it with such grace. He made sure everybody was okay. He even cared after the guy who was hit, who was one of his frat brothers. He was very empathetic. He handled the press really, really well. One guy tried to jam him up with one of them old slideway type questions, but he handled it gracefully. So shouts out to him for just moving in the manner that he did. If someone is going to lead me, I want someone who knows how to act under pressure. That was extreme pressure to be under, and he acted gracefully. So shouts out to him for that.
Go, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, shouts out to our fire chief, Chief Freeze. Let me tell you, I know that man was at home in the bed, right? But he appeared out of nowhere. You can tell that he got one of those highway hazard vests. Yeah. You can tell he just got one in his truck or something, because he had on street clothes, hopped out the truck, had his vest on, and was ready. He was like, he appeared out of nowhere. So shouts out to Chief Reese. That man is everywhere, from supporting the community to pulling up and drive-bys.
All right, Chief.
So shouts out to Chief. Those are the type of people that we've been able to have in place since AP has been mayor. I'm sorry, since Mayor Perkins has been mayor. So shouts out to Chief Reese. Shouts out to Mayor Perkins, because at least he's leaving us in some good hands.
Absolutely. Great job during your stretch.
Indeed. So who else did I want to shout out? Just everybody who was there. Everybody came together. Craig Johnson, who was Dr. Jackson's campaign manager, he did an amazing job. Dr. Jackson
Craig always do that.
Yes, he does. He moves in excellence. That's why I rock with him. If it ain't gonna be right, he ain't gonna deal with it. That's that Graham family.
Okay.
But everyone just went well. But it was just really unfortunate. Now, some people say that they have an idea of who's involved in this, because there was supposedly some exchange of words during campaigning, and some things of that sort. However, the way that it went down, I don't think it was an opponent or anything of that sort. I think this was more of a move of a demographic of people. We don't want you to be here. And I say that because of the way that it happened. It didn't happen before the polls were closed. It happened at like 8:05, right after polls had closed. So it wasn't to invoke fear to stop people from going to vote. I think it was a more of a, oh, you see what's gonna happen, the type of crowd that's gonna come if something's associated with him. But that is so unfortunate for someone to do. So I want everyone to make sure that you go out December 10th. He's in the runoff. Make your voice heard. We did not show up in numbers. Shreveport has like 300,000 plus people, and it was 51,000 people who went and voted.
That's so sad.
Why? Why do y'all think that was?
Because it's only 10% doing anything about any work around here. Just my 2 cents. I'm just saying. And people are not educated. You know what I'm saying? Like you was, I mean, like I said in one meeting where they broke them down, and I laughed all the way through the amendments because I thought to myself, for somebody that's really going to go in there and vote that is not educated or whatever, I mean, just give them a, check this, check this, check this, check this, to give them and not even on what to check, but giving them the breakdown of what to know, whether their answer, because the meeting I sat in, shouts out to Barrington with UNI, United Nonprofits, because he verbatimly broke each one down, but he did not tell you which way to go.
He just gave you the information.
He gave you the information and make sure you understood.
And we need a lot more of that. And,
yes,
and the
indeed.
reason why, and I'm glad you said that, we need a lot more of that because woo child, baby.
Yeah.
We voted to keep slavery in place. We voted to keep slavery in place in Louisiana. That was a woo child moment for me.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. And it's perfect segue into what you were just talking about the Bible says, and I ain't trying to preach, but the people gonna perish.
Live without it.
The people gonna perish due to lack of what? Knowledge. And we were getting misknowledge and the lack of knowledge, but lack of knowledge and also misinformation. Because there was people going around in Shreveport, educate people saying, hey, y'all go vote yes for number 7, which is the whole slave situation. But then there was a TikTok going around, and this chick on the TikTok was telling everybody to vote no on it. So there was conflicting information going
That's
out.
so sad because
and it's stuff like that. And what I take away from that, it was basically saying that are you voting? Are you trying to prohibit slavery or you want to keep slavery? Period, point blank. No matter, because the only way they can keep slavery in place is through jail, right? Why are we the only state that this is even a conversation in?
That's the first question.
That's the first question. Why is it that we're even still having? Why?
I think it's mindset, and it's definitely a different mindset than Northerners for sure. But I know, like my grandmother being from down south, they couldn't wait to get north, and I was raised north, so I don't know, but I do know that there is a difference of a mindset. And those that are from down south that I've met that has traveled the world, because you ain't got to leave your home, but you ain't never been nowhere.
Right.
You ain't never been away from home to experience no parts of the world. Like, not traveling to me is like having a book that you could not wait to read, but you never open up the cover. That's what traveling is. And so you got to be able to see more. Right. But if you don't know more, then you don't understand why it's important to show up to vote. And I'm going to be real. I hate voting. Let me just say that. That's clear. My family knows that. My friends know that. And if I did not have to vote, I would not vote. But
what makes you push through and do it anyway?
Because, see, first of all, I feel like on one note, I already know that my future and where that lies at, and that's unto the Lord. That's my first thing. Right. But the second thing is that I want to have heaven on earth too. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so it is important to know what we know. And I'll tell you this year, I still hated to vote and bop. Next year, and every election from this point, I ain't gonna wait until to look at what I need to do. I'm gonna know that, and I am gonna have my eyes open if I never touch politics. So it's so important to just educate ourselves. Even our kids. My boys knew nothing about voting, and they're both 18. Like, how did I let that slide through the cracks? You know what I'm saying? But it happens even to the best of us. So I got up there and I voted, and I was number 500 on Pines Road.
Wow.
500.
Wow.
And I was the last vote that went in at 8:00.
Wow.
So, but I still had to vote because at the end of the day, before I get up out of here, I at least want to make sure, because if we don't do something, you gonna let something do us.
Right.
And the reality is we gotta stand up, and if we don't do it, then who will?
Well, woo child, y'all. I hope we do something differently when
We
it
gonna
comes
have
to
to.
this presidential election. We have to do something. People should not have to. And I can honestly say that I didn't see the rile up and the push that we saw 4 years ago.
At all.
We didn't see that.
I said that.
We didn't see that. And
Didn't see one person out there.
but the thing about it is nobody should have to pump you up and prime you to vote.
But think about this. I had just told Brandy that. I said, I never, like normally leading up to voting, you're seeing like, call us if you need a ride. We seen it on your Facebook, on BJ's, like it wasn't even out there, and why?
And we were literally offering rides in our own
That
personal
part.
vehicles.
Because we didn't see anything.
Yeah.
It was a reason behind that. I'm just saying.
And but the thing about it is the old people did what they did. The old people did what they do, and the young people did what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The old people showed up to the polls, and the young people showed up to the doggone Facebook and
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Preload, because I could not have put that post
Mm-hmm.
together any better. And it's just really, really sad, and it's really I'm trying not to allow it to be demotivating. But yeah, y'all, like, vote up or shut up. I don't want to see nobody when they put us back in the cotton field. No, we're playing.
The
But-
devil is a lie.
But once we get some stuff that I'm praying that the shift doesn't change. I'm hoping that we continue on this upward trajectory that we've been on the last 4 years. We still have a solid, city council. I feel safe. T-Tab is still there. We got to get Alan Jackson in there. We got to continue to keep people who care for the community in there. Shouts out to Jasmine Green,
I was
who
just
won
about to
for
say, shouts out to Jasmine.
who won
Yes,
school board
so
for the
proud of
Cooper Road
her.
area. So
Yes.
shouts out to Jasmine.
Mhm.
We got to keep people in these positions who actually care for our
That
community,
part,
because
that's
we
so
dropped the ball,
important.
in my opinion, y'all.
Mhm.
But we're gonna go ahead and transition on what we gonna talk about next. What was the next Woo Child? Well, before we go to the next topic, I want to know, did you guys have a Woo Child moment this week? Did you guys experience something
yeah.
that make you say Woo Child?
I did. I know I did.
Y'all want to run it? So tell me about your Woo Child moment.
Baby, let me tell you something. Only God. Because, see, you have to say, whoo, child, if you don't know Jesus, you better thank him that I do. Because, you got to be kidding me. So, I've only done teenagers for like 26 years, and my own kids, it's kind of like the PK kids. They kids be the craziest kids type of thing. And so my kids, they not crazy, but they real special. Let me just say that, because I think words are powerful. So they're special. They're very special. And so, my son goes into his high set, because as kids we ought to make wrong decisions, and mine ain't exempt. Right. Let me just be the first to say that. Right. Mine is not exempt, but we all go through stuff. So he has this he got a bullseye on his back anyway. He's a young black male.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you're going into a program, which I'm not going to say it today.
Don't say it.
Today.
Don't say
I'm
it.
telling you that today, because I work with kids, and I will make sure that another kid will be treated like my kid. Right. And they feel like I'm just passionate about this because it's my kid. No, I'm passionate about this
all kids.
With all kids.
All kids.
If you knew me, all kids, right? And so the moral of the story is they want to excuse him from this program. And when I read the email, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, because parents be tripping. Yeah, that was your kid. You know what your kid said. My kid said everything in that email. I'm just gonna be honest. He said everything in that email. He didn't cuss, because he knew I'd have killed him. I'm going to be real. He didn't cuss or none, but he said everything in that email. And in that, he had to go right back and apologize because I'm their mama.
Right.
You going they done put you out and everything, and you still going right back to apologize, right? And so all of that happened, but it was the moral of how the adults handled it that was amazing to me. And in that, I was responding to the teacher because I'm asking him questions because now he's online. I'm asking him questions he don't know. So what would y'all do?
Ask the instructor.
Who? The instructor, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
If he was 18 or if he was 16 or if he was maybe even 19,
Right.
still working on
Right.
his, I would ask the instructor.
The instructor.
So I asked the instructor. I mean, I emailed this nice little, hey, I'm sorry, but he's still having he has some questions. I don't know. So da. Well, when I read her email and she says, well, Mrs. Nina, first of all, that's how she opened it.
First of all.
She says, first of all, in the
Ooh, child.
That's all I had to read was the first of all. Because I was like, hey, and now let me push pause on the first of all. Because I said, well, hey, because I know he's 18. So if I got to sign a waiver so that you can communicate to me, we're open to that. Let me know, please advise. Okay? When she responds, first of all, that took me right there.
Ooh, child.
But then she goes in to proceed to say, and he needs to learn to check his email on a daily basis. And since he is 18 and he's my kid, my student, if he chooses to communicate to you what I tell him, then that's how you get your information. Just verbatim, just about.
Ooh, child.
Yes, she did verbatim. So that was my woo child. Needless to say, I got to meet with the director on Monday because I'm not going to play with you or my kid, let alone Lucifer, pertaining to my kid or any kids. So if we can't resolve, and he ain't never got to go back. I think that's the route we got to go. But I'll make sure that you never treat another kid like that. Because there's other mothers out there that's not active, that's not involved, and really don't.
They get away with that. They get away with that. I'm telling you.
And guess what? Another young black man falling through the cracks because you talking about, and then one of the parents one of the teachers said to me, well, he act like he don't want to be here anyway. Well, I'm from that old school where they get a choice at pertaining to education. They may do that across the track somewhere, but not over here. As for me and my house, I ain't got to finish it. You know the rest.
Come on.
That was my woo child.
Listen, and see, when you guys get that woo child moment, like woo child is definitely those things.
You
that
can
make
feel
say,
it,
"Woo
can't
child."
you?
You can feel it, but it's also a release. Because before I get up in I have to just stop and say, woo child.
Child. I know you did.
So, Brian, did you have a woo child moment this week?
I'm here on a woo child. I'm in Shreveport on a whole woo child. So,
You can even go from the pack up and on your way back.
absolutely,
Just from that.
absolutely.
Packed up
because
and ready.
I was getting ready to just fly right back home, dealing with my son, and I decided I had to stay because woo child.
Yeah,
Woo
child.
Yes,
Woo
yes.
child.
So those are good.
So
It's kind of like that.
It's that release. It's that hold on, let me stop and gather me. Let me get it let me get it together. Right? So with my woo child moment, I didn't really have a specific for real woo child moment this week. I've had a couple of almost woo child moments, but I haven't had like a for real one. But I'm sure there's one on the horizon. My back has been making me say woo child.
You have had a woo child. A couple of them this week.
Which one?
I mean, talking about the festival.
Oh,
See, because woo child can be
all of the above. Yes. So I have had some woo child moments this week. And one of my specific woo child moments is a moment, and I'm gonna share this because I know other people experience this as well. You can't expect you out of other people.
Say that again for those in the back.
You cannot expect woo child. You cannot expect you out of other people. And I got my feelings hurt. Well, not feelings hurt, but I got my woo child moment with that this week because I expect people to give me what I give, or I expect for them to do and move how I move, and that's just not the way that it is. And you know, truth of the matter, I don't always move the way that, you know what I'm saying, one would desire. So just don't expect expectations. Expectations is the number one reason for failure, for heartbreak.
Say that again.
So just stop expecting stuff from people, and what you just accept the extra. Just know what they give is extra.
That part.
And my Wheww Child moment was with my Christmas festival, but you know, I just Wheww Child, and things have started flowing. And that's just what it is. You have to just Wheww Child it, because being frustrated, going off, being mad, that changes absolutely nothing. It changes absolutely nothing. It's gonna raise your blood pressure. It's gonna sever bridges. It's gonna hurt feelings, and it's gonna be stuff you can't come back from, right? So just Wheww Child and keep it kicking. I promise you, tomorrow's gonna be different. That's why I like tomorrows.
Yeah, that part.
Right.
That part.
So next, Wheww Child, and the topics today are things that we talk about in my Wheww Child group on Facebook. So those kind of where we got some of these topics from. So if there are any topics that you guys would like for us to talk about on Wheww Child Wednesdays, like I said, it's literally just me, my people who are cool with me. We're just sitting and giving our perspective about different things, right? No matter if it's sex, no matter if it's religion, no matter what it is, this is an open platform for you to openly talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, and that's just how we rock with Wheww Child. So the next topic that we were going to talk about, that we talked about in our Wheww Child group, is we're going to talk about dating in this age situation, right? So if you guys don't know, Diddy is dating Young Miami, which is a crazy mix to me, because I just took Young Miami to be like hood or whatever, and I just
she is.
Yeah, but you know, Diddy is usually like J-Lo-ish, like classy type girls. And you
Diddy,
think about his women.
Yeah, he over that though. He know what it is.
So he just tapped into that hood thing. And that young thing. But I'm surprised, and it really made me say, Wheww Child, when people begin to say that Diddy is a creep. They're saying that he's a creep because Diddy is 50 plus years old. And Young Miami is 28. So there's a 25, 30 year age difference in between the two. So people are saying that he's a creep. But I'm just going to tell you. Let me tell
him, D.
I'm going to tell you that if a 70-year-old, I'm 38.
You better say it.
But if a 70-year-old poppy approach me and he looking and moving like Diddy, your girl going to rock his world.
Baby.
Your girl going to rock his world, girl. Your girl going to rock his world. They're grown. I can see if Young Miami was 18. If this was 10 years, if she's 28, but if she was 18, like a new adult,
girl,
and he was 51,
I was
then
18.
I would be like, nah, Diddy.
No, and I wouldn't even then. I let me tell you something. Them folks is grown, okay? I'm not into the whole social media stuff, right?
Okay.
Like I don't follow those type of stories. So when one of my kids said like, and I was like, who is that? They was like, oh, that's Young Miami. I don't know who Young Miami is. I was like, well, what song don't she sing something?
Yeah.
So I was like what song? So they kind of put me up. But I'm watching this interview with her and Diddy.
Yeah.
So they was like, and I was like, oh, that's Diddy's boo. Oh, baby, whatever interview this was, I was hollering because baby.
Yeah.
She got Diddy wrapped. And I definitely, until you said it, I didn't know that she was 28. So I say that to say, they grown. And that woman doing what that woman need to do with obviously other women. And she may just be here for the moment. I ain't mad at that either.
But she's winning in the moment.
Let me tell you something, honey. Okay? She is in the moment. And if you're going to be in the moment, you might as well be doing the best moment. And Diddy right now
is the best moment.
Is the best
I won't
moment.
say he's the best moment.
He's one of the top. Diddy, despite of what he got, because ain't nobody perfect.
Right.
Because that's what men just tell me. You looking for somebody perfect? No, I'm not. I'm just looking for a man.
Right.
And I ain't even looking for him. Let me just make that record clear.
That part.
I believe that he that findeth the good one. So I'm not looking for anything. I'm just making myself available so that if he's looking, he can find me. Okay?
So you say, so no creep. So Diddy is not a creep for you.
No, I actually dated somebody, Baker Street. Fran will remember exactly who he was. We was 30 years apart? And I'm driving real good. I mean, he taught me, let me tell you, that man died. My best friend. His family about hated me. And I went into him for his money or nothing, and we literally died. When he died, we were best friends. He cooked at my wedding, all of that. So nothing about him was a creep. He was literally, and I will never forget, he said, now we, you know, of course he liked me, and I didn't mind him. But he said, when we met, there's going to be a lot of stuff you can teach me, and there's going to be a lot of stuff I can teach you. And he did.
See, my best friend, so I can't. See, he gotta look like Diddy. He can't look like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Now that would creep me out.
Yeah, and he was precious.
That would creep me out. Like,
yeah.
Shouts out to my best friend Shayla, but my best friend was 18 and her boyfriend was like 68.
Come
70.
on, Shayla.
But his name was Rufus.
Don't put the names, Jesus.
Well, it's an old name, so I had to say it. But I mean, she ain't really bad. You know, it is what it is.
It is
but
what it is.
She had a house, but she would tell me like, Dorian, you were fooling with these people that's our same age. She had a car. He paid for her college out of pocket.
Let me tell
he
you
bought her a
something.
house and didn't even stay in the house with her.
And this is the deal. It ain't even about the money. It's just about the man being a man. So I don't care if he's 2 or if he's 52. I don't like a woman. Diddy obviously don't care she's 28 but she handled him on that video, whatever video that was. That's all I'm saying.
So what you think,
I
Brand?
was 12 years senior to the last man that I was with for 14 years. And, you know, I mean, there was different, you know, areas of the relationship where I could see where challenges could come in from the age difference now and moving forward. But, you know, I feel like when you grown, you grown. You move like you grown, and that's just what it is. Like,
Yeah.
So you were 12. So you were 12 years older than him. So
yes.
I dated a guy like last year or the year before last. I get lost in when I was dating this guy, and he was like 8 years younger than me. And I don't think I could ever date anybody younger than me anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be a challenge for me as well. But this was not any type of person.
Gotcha.
And he was already his mom and dad they built him up right.
Yeah, and see, because mine he still had mama and daddy issues, and so I was like girlfriend, wife, counselor, mama, childhood
that's
therapist.
what I'm interested in.
But I guess you kind of gotta be like that, you know, because
I think in any man.
And I didn't mind. Honestly, I didn't mind growing him up in several different areas. You know, I felt.
But see, I think my thing is I got children. I got kids that I'm putting that into.
I feel like molding somebody just particularly, you know, that might be nice.
See, now I don't want to mold nobody. Yeah. I need to be molded.
And that's where it got to.
I got to. Yeah. I want my dude to tell me, Dorian, you're doing the most. Oh, Dorian, you need to do more. Yeah. Like, I want to follow my guy. Yeah. I need my guy. Because if I got to tell you what to do, I'm going to treat you like a bitch.
And I'm never going to do that.
Yeah. He wasn't.
You never got to worry about me wanting to lead you. Nah, boo. Yeah. Let your mama do that.
So, but it's good that they don't have that type. I guess, you know, that's not the situation with, because like you said, Miami is holding her own with this man that's 30 years her senior.
And I will say this is precious too about that, because she is 28 years old. And age and maturity doesn't have to do with age. But any woman, like, we are so powerful and able to really invest. I mean, like, who a woman be with and who a man allows, I mean, all of the above, you have to make sure that you are investing in each other, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, because you cannot grow without each other. That's why it's so important on who we attach ourselves to and all of that. Right. So that's just huge. Like, I mean, a fling is one thing, but who you getting ready to build an empire with, no thank you.
I think that was the biggest issue in the age gap.
Yeah.
Being able to grow with each other, like, that's a little difficult when you're on two different.
And I'm going to leave on this note. I think that it's easy for them to work in that dynamic, because you know how women are already more mature than men anyway.
Yeah, because
and then she's a hood woman, and despite what people think or what you might say, us are women who are born in the hood, we just have a quicker growing up, so the maturity is a little bit there already when you 18 years old.
Yeah.
So she been grown probably since she was 14.
I know.
Depending
I was.
on the level of, you know what I'm saying, of where her life was.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, shouts out to Diddy in Miami. If y'all like it, I love it. Ain't nobody being abused or held against their will.
And all
I support it.
And all I say is put God in it.
Come on,
That's
you know.
It'll work.
I support it. So our last topic before we get out of here, y'all, we saved the best for last, and I don't even know how I want to touch on this, but it made me say "woo child."
I can't even rap. I don't even
It
know.
made me say "woo child," and I'm going to verbalize the aspect of what made me say "woo child." I'm not gonna go into deep detail on either side. I am going to start this conversation off by saying we need to enforce black code. I keep yelling, I keep saying there has to be a black code. Well, Dorian, what's black code? I'm glad you asked. Black code is if you black, I'm black, I can't handle you like that. Period.
Okay.
If
That's
you
a
black
good code,
and
sis.
I'm black, I can't handle you just any kind of way. And if everybody is doing that, we would be in a lot of situations. I understand that everybody ain't good, but if you haven't touched my child or taken my money or did something to really affect or hurt me, why am I going out of my way to ruin your life?
That part.
We got to stop doing that. We have got to enforce black code.
No other culture does it.
No other culture
Not
do it.
one.
And we're talking about
You would never, like, unless they are sloppy drunk, like I can't even hold my breath drunk, you would never see another race doing that.
You're not. They are not going to do it, and it's so absolutely sad that we continue to do that. It amazes me the amount of black people who went in on Kanye when he had his mental breakdown in that video. Some people say it's a mental breakdown. Some people feel like it wasn't a mental breakdown.
They said the video was crazy too.
However, but the thing about it is, it was not any crazier than him on a normal day. At first he wasn't drunk, then he did get drunk.
While he was on the video?
While he was on the video, they was giving him Douce. But my thing is
and his
this.
friends, you better watch who you got around you. So all them got. Oh, okay.
And they were smoking.
Oh, okay.
So, but my thing is this. Drunk, having a mental episode or whatever the case may be, exactly what Kanye said transpired with someone else not a week later. Kyrie Irving. Let's talk. So Kanye was saying, hey, the Jews, they gonna get mad when we talk about it. That's why I'm bucking the system. I'm bucking the system to show y'all that they hold the power. Like that's what I took away from his video. Did he say some other stupid outlandish stuff? He did. He definitely did. But the bulk of what he was saying was extremely true. He talked about how black people don't move together. He talked about how the Jews move together, and that's how they have been able to run everything in a country for eons with everybody else doing the work. How is that something crazy? That is fact, right? So he's talking about those things. Fast forward a week. Adidas took dropped him in his endorsement. Balenciaga dropped the endorsement because he used his freedom of speech. Because he used his freedom of speech. Kyrie Irving.
They think it's freedom of speech.
Kyrie didn't even say anything. He posted a story. He posted a movie of what needs to and I probably shouldn't say the name of the movie because they've been blocking people on social media for posting it and stuff like that. But he posted a movie, a documentary that he thinks people need to see. And now he's having to DM me and I'll send it to you. I'll show you on my phone or something. But they are making him apologize. They want him to take.
You talking about Stephen?
No, Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
They're trying to make him apologize. They're trying to make him take sensitivity courses. He has to take anti-Semitic courses.
Girl, stop.
They're trying to make
I don't
him
even know
do
who
all
he is,
these.
and I wouldn't.
Excuse me, he's a basketball player, very famous basketball player. But they're making him do all of these things, and he didn't even say anything.
And who making? See, that's what I'm saying.
The
You got
NBA.
to be kidding me. They be playing
His
with somebody
team.
else, baby. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to be kidding me.
Woo child.
That's a woo child. Who do that? He posts something about a movie that ain't got nothing to do with. Boy, get up out of my face. But I guess when they got you on these puppet strings and your money and all of that is attached to, you better build multiple streams.
Again, they said Kanye was crazy, but him speaking out and doing that outlandish stuff, do you know what it did? It freed him from being a puppet. They dropped him. So guess what? He don't have to pay no penalties, no nothing. Now he's free. You know what I'm saying?
So they dropped Kyrie?
No, they haven't dropped Kyrie yet, but they're suggesting that he have to do these sensitivity things and making him apologize and all sorts of stuff.
That's so crazy.
LeBron James came out and made a comment about it, and people are not bashing, but saying that LeBron shouldn't even said nothing about it. Again, black code.
What did LeBron say?
Basically saying that Kyrie shouldn't have posted it and all this other type of jazz, but you know, my thing is, again, black code. Because if black code was enforced, when they said something to LeBron about it, LeBron would have been like, no comment.
Period.
No, because can't nobody trip me up on no interview and have me say something about one of y'all.
I mean, like...
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Nina decided to do what she did. I support it. Or no comment.
Period.
There's no united front, and that's why we get, excuse my French, dicked in the booty every time.
When Kaepernick kneeled, they all should have just. Like, what's the matter with that? Like, everybody that feels the same way, go out together.
But that's too much like right, because we won't stand together. There is no unity in the community. Even in the community, you better look for the snakes, baby. Because I'm telling you, it's crazy, but there is a rising generation.
There is.
You know what I'm saying? That we got to do something, because if we don't really step up to do something, as Martin Luther King said, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. You know, and that's just sad. Like, and you know, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody on puppet strings. You know,
that's where my heart is in self-sustainability. You know, and the community building for itself.
Absolutely.
Because if we use the HBCUs and we had our own.
Shouts out to Grambling.
Absolutely, and we had our own NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Part.
And then then we have a different type of leverage when we own our own.
So that was my question. That was because, Woo Child, we're going to talk about those topics that make us say Woo Child. But this is gossip for the greater good. Yeah. We're not going to just gossip just to gossip. We definitely giving our opinion. But we want to come with some type of solution. So I definitely want to know, what do you guys think that we could do? We see that in my mind, what I see this as a war of control. They're saying we got the control, pipe down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I feel. What do we as a people, what do we have to do as a society? What do we do to combat that? What do we do to, like you say, I guess the answer is to be more self-sufficient. But what does that look like? What are the steps that we need to take to become more self-sufficient? I don't know many black grocery stores. I don't know many black banks. I don't know a black hospital.
It's not set up to succeed.
That's what I'm saying. So how do we gravitate to that? How do we get that?
We have to work together.
Period.
When we come together and unite, and we're operating in business for ourselves, and we're patronizing our own businesses, it's gonna look a lot different. And then they'll be looking over the
because we have a hell of a buying power.
And I would even say
our dollar is the buying power. And when we start to be able to establish our own, they will literally be looking over the railroad tracks trying to figure out where is the money,
and how to get over there with their cousins and them that's already over there.
I mean, they're actually already doing it. They taking the culture, and they're literally trying to do that already by themselves.
And I don't at the end of the day, we as a race got to do better, period. And it's not even so, because of course you would think the white man, that's what you've heard all your life on the reason why the black man ain't got further than where we are, when it's really the black man on the black man, which is why we haven't got any further than what we are. Because whether you white, black, pink, purple, people are good people out there, And then you got some fools out there, regardless of the color.
Regardless of
you
the
know what I'm
color.
saying? Because I know some white folks that's much more loyal to me than a black cousin of mine. Just
I've
being
been
honest.
messed over by more black people.
You know, big time. And the reality is like Brandy said, we got to be able to come together, and that's what we do at the Circle
we've
of
been
Caring.
conditioned.
You know,
It's not just, black and white. Like, it's been a domino
Big
effect
time.
of what's happened to us in our history.
Yeah.
Which is why we're sitting in this spot right here. Which
the
is why
house
it's very
versus
important
the
to
So
field.
how are
healing.
we still falling victim to a man ain't nobody even seen before? We don't even know if Willie Lynch is a real person. And we are still falling victim to this whole divide and conquer situation.
The healing has to happen.
How do we heal?
Absolutely. The healing has to happen.
How do
And
we heal?
that's a whole
That's a
process.
complex
That's a whole
question,
process in itself.
But at the
Ooh,
same
child.
time, that's
Y'all
the
need to
child
heal.
for real.
We need to heal so that we can move because
Yeah, we
I mean when
hurts.
my thing is it seems like to me in a time where black people would not have been together, they were.
Mm-hmm.
And it
They
seems
were.
like now when we should be together, we're not.
Well, yeah.
And the
true.
system was set up like that.
It definitely was, because if you understood, like, even Black Wall Street, when they came out of slavery and they were establishing business and they were working, like, it's just been so much knocking down and degrading,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and humiliation into, you know what I'm saying, exactly where we are right now. And so, and at this point, the energy is different.
Yeah.
But we have to heal in order to even be able to live and exist in that energy where we can actually come together and actually
And
see
then
the
start.
fruit.
And
of
how do
what it
we
is.
start that? Like you start that inviting, even if it's 3 at the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta start it with the 3. That mean no, just because you want your cousin them to come and you want your friend to, no, you got to come to the table with the 2 or the 3 or the 10 that is willing to progress further. And that's what we get an opportunity to do. And I'll say this, I'll invite y'all out if I can to Circle of Caring. You know what I'm saying? That is where businesses, organizations, and churches come. I don't care who you are. Anybody can come to the table. Like I heard my mentor say, anybody is invited to the table. But I ain't arguing with nobody. If you want to come to the table and build this community, you can join us. That's tomorrow going down in Shreveport, downtown. You can reach out to Dorian. She'll give you that information. But this is businesses, churches, and organizations at the tables in downtown Shreveport during lunch, free lunch if I must say.
Free lunch.
Okay, to where come to the table for the conversations, because whether there's 2 or 3, I ain't got to finish that either. But you got to be willing to come to the table, because everybody want to come to the table, but everybody can't come to the table because everybody is not mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready to come to the table. So there's going to be people that want to come to the table that you got to say, you know what, sweetheart, not right now, sugar, come back and see me next week. Or because when you're at the tables and you're serious about building where we're going, any old body can't come because the energy is huge. So, that's my, again, 2 cents.
So look, y'all, listen, we are encouraging you to just like Nina said, do the work. Reach out to people with like-minded, like-hearted people who want to progress forward. We got to do better. When those Woo Child situations come up, just say Woo Child, take a breath, breathe it out. When you say Woo Child, that's that releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe it out and keep it kicking. You got to press through. You got to push through. Life is going to be hard. Life going to be lifing. That's what life is made to do. But we were made to triumph life and everything else that comes our way. So we're going to keep on pushing through. So thank you guys so much for tapping into Woo Child Wednesday with your favorite girl in the world, D4. I will be back next Wednesday. We're going to rock this thing out every Wednesday at 8 o'clock right here in the Social Go studio. Again, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, if you get any topics over the week, make sure you DM them to me. or you can email them to us. You can DM them to our Social Ghost page as well. Shouts out to my boss man, my ghost producer in the back, Mr. Shady Will, who always does his thing. Thank you so much to my co-host tonight.
Thank you for
I enjoyed
having
y'all.
us.
Y'all gonna have to come back.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, of course. So, guys, again, if you have any topics that you want to talk about, hit me up. And don't forget, if you were interested in promoting your business, if you want to get your family out there, if you're just looking for something to do for the holidays,
Yes,
hey, come be a part of the Shreveport Family Christmas Festival and Parade. Y'all, we have 3 days this year. Popping off Friday with our denim and white winter wonderland.
Yes, Heroes of
We're
the
having our
Hearts.
Heroes of the Heart induction party, y'all, where we're going to honor 22 amazing individuals who have the heart of Christmas all year long. It's going to be a party, y'all.
I love
So
it.
make sure that you guys tap into that.
Bring your dancing shoes.
Bring your dancing shoes, baby. Then on Saturday, we have our Family Christmas Festival that's going to be happening in Red River District
Yes,
from
indeed.
1 to 5. We have a Lick the Pot gumbo competition where we're going to be having chefs out there with the gumbo. I can just smell
I
it
can too. Right now.
I can smell it. We'll also have vendors going on. We're having art show that'll be going on out there as well. It's going to be super, super dope. And listen, at the Family Festival, y'all, it's real dope.
Yes, it
We're
is.
going to be giving away more than $1,500 in gift cards.
I'm telling you.
Yes, you
Better
can
be
get you a
there.
free gift card. We're giving away laptops. Yes, you can get laptops, and we're going to be giving away gifts to all of our kids. We have our gingerbread house decorating competition that's going to be going on. The family that wins a free vacation.
Free.
Free. 4 days, 3 nights. Where you going?
Anywhere.
Y'all,
Everywhere.
it is going to be so amazing. Then on Sunday, we're going to wrap it up with our Christmas Festival Parade. We're going to be going down Clive Fant, baby, ending the parade at Riverview Park with music and fireworks.
So much fun.
You don't want to miss this train, y'all.
And I gotta just say this, y'all, Dorian has done an amazing job throughout. How many years would you say now?
I've been doing it for 7 years total, 4 years downtown.
Okay, so years, right?
Yeah.
And she has done some amazing work, and I personally believe, I could be biased because I'm definitely helping out, but I think it's going to be the best year yet.
Oh, yeah.
The route is so fire. There's so many opportunities. I just want to highlight the vendors because she was talking fast.
Yeah.
The vendors. If you are a business out there, the weekend ticket for you to be out there as a vendor is very affordable, and you do not want to miss your money for the holiday, honey.
We gonna have the people.
Okay, so the vendors, we need you. Businesses, churches, or organizations, we're going to be lighting up the route.
Yes.
So we
Light up
need
the red
you.
initiative.
I'm telling you, we need you to contribute and donate, tax deductible. Donate a tree for that route. And then last but not least, if you're an entertainer out there, if you sing, if you dance, baby, if you got an instrument, if you just want to give a spoken word, honey, there's going to be a stage for you all weekend. So meet us there or not. But I'm telling you, you sure enough going to hear about it.
So, Shreveport Family Christmas Festival, y'all about to see it all over the city. Don't miss out. Again, it's your favorite girl in the world, D4. Happy Wheww